"It runs Doom" is an iconic phrase that refers to the trend of running video games on all kinds of weird devices. It seems that the 1993 classic first-person shooter can be played on a variety of gadgets, one more impressive than the other. If you thought that modding a PlayStation game to make it work on a PC was a big deal, wait until you see the crazy devices that can run Doom. So let's jump right in and have a look at 8 of the wackiest gadgets that mesmerize the gaming world. An Australian group of passionate hackers showed the entire world how talented they were by modifying an ATM to make it run Doom. The fact that the machine had Windows XP installed on it was of great help, but we cannot overlook the hard work that was put into making the ATM's side buttons work as weapon selection keys. This is a really impressive project, and we are truly amazed of how creative some people can be when it comes to video game modding. To show just how vulnerable the Canon Proxima line of printers is, a technical security specialist uploaded the Doom game via a firmware update. His purpose was just to show how dangerously easy it is to access the printer software and install all kinds of things on it, such as a terrible copy of a video game. Even though it looked awful and was totally mute, the fact that somebody could actually get Doom to kind of work on a printer is impressive enough to make a mark in the history of video gaming. Playing Doom on an iPhone, or any kind of mobile phone for that matter, would be just too plain and simple, so someone made it possible to enjoy a good FPS adventure directly on your iPod Classic. The fact that you have to use the touch wheel as a controller might not be the easiest thing in the world, but you have to admit that the idea is tremendously original. Now imagine playing the game on Nightmare mode with just a tiny wheel as your main joystick. Fun, right? An oscilloscope is a device that measures electronic signals, and luckily it can also run Doom and Quake for that matter. If it were not for a tenacious YouTube user named Zekin, we wouldn't even have known that such a thing was possible, so we think he deserves all the thumbs up for the idea of installing the first-person shooter on lab gadgets. Since the oscilloscope was already operating on Windows 95, all it took was a bit of imagination to make it run these amazingly versatile games. The Doom Box is a personal creation of JJ Dasher, an enthusiast who built a device out of an old Kodak camera circuits and the Digita operating system. A custom casing was also made so that the whole contraption would look presentable, with grafted buttons included and the whole paraphernalia. Even though it's not an actual commercial camera running the game, we have to give credit to the creator for the amount of patience and dedication it involved. Even though the touch bar has been a controversial addition to the new MacBook, there's an idea everyone seems to agree on. It is good enough to run Doom! Essentially, being a tiny Apple Watch, the touch bar's 2170x60 resolution doesn't exactly let you see much of what you're playing, but a pro Doom gamer can do it based solely on the iconic sound effects. Killing cacodemons has never been so much fun. In addition to all of the other innovative devices that can run video games, a Honeywell Prestige thermostat hooked up to the SNES controller is one of the newest gadgets that needs to be added to the It Runs Doom Hall of Fame. It's simply amazing how a thermostat of all things can actually run a video game. But after what we saw earlier, nothing is impossible when a talented modder gets his hands on those awesome nostalgic titles that seem to work on anything in the world. This is the most creative way of playing a video game, and we have to admit that it blew our minds when we first heard of it. A group of indie developers put together a project for a game jam where they actually installed Doom on a piano, yes, a piano, using the keys for shooting and moving. You probably have to be both a very good Doom player and experienced pianist for this all to work. Now, if this isn't the craziest and most immensely original way of playing a first-person shooter from 20 years ago, then we don't know what is. This was our list featuring some crazy instances when video games were played on weird devices, and we hope you've enjoyed our video. If you did, please press that like button, as we do appreciate it and it helps us immensely. We often ask our audience for suggestions to compile these lists, and if you'd like to contribute, please follow Frag Hero on Facebook. If you know of any other example, please tell us in the comments below, because we do try to read pretty much everything. Now would also be a great time to encourage you to subscribe, because we upload new stuff all of the time, so subscribing will keep you up to date with all of our latest videos. You can also check out fraghero.com for more gaming related articles, but until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.